What's up, boss? You believe that?
Of all the
hold on. Oh no. Do you believe that? Huh?
Who said I didn't believe before?
No. I read through that bull junk you wrote down. I read through that. I sifted through all
What did
that.
I write?
Yeah.
What did I write?
Oh no. Come
Can
on.
I ask my question?
Do you believe?
In what?
You don't believe.
I do believe.
You just answered it. You don't believe. Next question.
What's up, Buffs Nation, and welcome into Buffs News Weekly Live. I am your host, Russ. It is Thursday, January 22nd, and we are here, and we are doing the best we can. Okay, battling a little bit of a head cold if I sound a little bit funny today. Apologies for that. Going to do the best I can as we continue to battle a little bit of a cold. See you guys already going off in the chat. Appreciate you guys for stopping by today. If you're watching this video later on, or if you're watching right now, make sure to hit like, subscribe to this channel. Always appreciated. Always awesome to see you guys throw that support out there for me and for what I do. So appreciate you guys so very much. But let's get on to talking about the latest and greatest news and what we need to know about the Buffs right now heading into winter workouts. Of course, the big piece of news was the fact that Ezra Christensen, transfer player from New Mexico, defensive lineman that came into the program, had a lot of upside. I have a video about him and his scouting report, what he did at New Mexico, is unfortunately not going to be with the Buffs. So we got this information, of course, from Brian Howell from Boulder, who knows what he's talking about. Okay. Brian Howell, of course, coming out with the information that first team All-CUSA at New Mexico State, committed to Colorado on January 9th, but will not be joining the Buffs. He's already played 5 years. 2 of those years, by the way, were JUCO. He would need a waiver in order to play, and he's unlikely to get that as of this moment. If somehow the NCAA removes the JUCO law between now and next season, he could potentially play for Colorado. But it looks like, diving into this deeper, the 1-year JUCO rule that was ruled on last year was only for that year. It was not a permanent rule change in the sport. There are a number of players right now battling for their eligibility in courts in regards to the JUCO rule. So could it change? Sure. But right now it is not looking likely. Okay, so something that you got to keep in mind when it comes to Colorado. Now, as for where we stand on the defensive interior without Ezra Christensen being committed to the Buffs, I would like to throw out a reminder. Okay, we have 6 defensive linemen, not 5, 6. Okay, we had 7 with him. Santana Hopper, Sedrick Smith, Dylan Manuel, Tyler Moore, Samu, and Joseph Pecco are all currently listed as defensive tackles outside of Ezra Christensen. So we have 6. Okay, we have 6. There is no reason to panic. There's no reason to go crazy or anything like that. Okay, and then Brian Howell did respond and say in one post that I was looking at, that he responded to a thread that I was a part of. Okay, he talked about the fact that for now, the Buffs are not looking for anybody to add just yet. Okay, now if somebody pops up on their radar, if somebody, becomes available that, wants to do it. But he said for now they're set with no plans to add. If the right fit comes along, they could add a player or 2. Okay, so that's where it's at. And again, it is 6, north side. He's still on the roster. Depth is depth. Okay, we said that we didn't think Brandon Davis-Wade was going to play this year right away, or that many other players were going to play. It happened. The fact is that we have 6. We have 6 right now on the roster. That is a fact. Okay. quick reminder, because I've been seeing this. I've been seeing so much woe is me since Ezra Christensen lost his eligibility. It's not the end of the world. Our season is not over just because Ezra Christensen is no longer on the team. Okay? You got to remember exactly who he was, okay, when it came to this, because all I hear from people all the time is how we don't have enough big guys. And yet, Ezra Christensen was one of the smaller guys on the interior of the defensive line. Obviously, the smallest is Santana Hopper, who many, including myself, believe might be the best interior defensive lineman on the team. But there's that. Size-wise, Ezra Christensen, was listed at what, 285? I have it written down here. Where is my post of what I had him at? Hold on. Yeah, 6'2", 280 pounds. Okay? 6'2", 280 pounds. So that's where we're at, okay? It is what it is. We now have, and I will list them off again, Santana Hopper, 6'2", 265. Sedrick Smith, 6'4", 320 pounds. Dylan Manuel, who, by the way, I think Santana Hopper and Dylan Manuel will probably be your starters. 6'1", 300 pounds. Of course, we've got Samu from Baylor, 6'3", 375 pounds. Tyler Moore, 6', 297. And Joseph Pecco, who, yes, is going to be a freshman, 6'3", 310 pounds that he is weighing in. Okay? So there's a lot of stuff there. There's a lot of pluses that he had, but he's gone. There's nothing we can do about it, guys. We have to move on. Okay? The season is not over. The season is not ending right now because of where it's at. It is where it is. We have to move on. Now, there is a player that entered the transfer portal today that, who knows, maybe Colorado will be interested in. Indiana defensive lineman Hosea Wheeler has entered the transfer portal, and he does have a bit of production. We need a depth type player, so maybe he's a player that Colorado could add. That's an option. But for right now, as far as anything's concerned, Colorado is happy with where they're at heading into spring season. Okay. So there's that. And we'll see what happens from there. We very well could be adding more players. Guys, so here's the other thing that'll happen eventually is you will have some graduate players that will hit the portal throughout the spring, heading into summer. There's still a chance to have a few players like that be able to be added to the team. So again, it's not over when it comes to that. So we'll see what happens for that. Okay. D-line from Indiana entered the portal, has 1 year JUCO, 4 years FBS. What is a red shirt? So I don't see how he'd be eligible, but Ezra isn't. Nuke, the reason why, and again, I talked to Brian Howell. I directly had a conversation with Brian Howell about this. Me and him have been DMing. The difference is Ezra would be eligible if he had 4 years of FBS and 1 year of JUCO. It was found out, Brian Howell found it out, that Ezra had 2 years of JUCO. He did the full 2 years at JUCO and then 4 years of FBS. So that is why Ezra Christensen is not eligible. If the D-line from Indiana is hitting the portal with 1 year JUCO, 4 year FBS, that's fine. That's allowed. And just an FYI, that is why Ezra's not qualifying. Okay? He talked to Ezra himself. Ezra thought he was good. Ezra thought that, the 2 years of JUCO wouldn't have mattered. That was the thought process. Supposedly, his last college did not know or pay attention to his eligibility. As we heard today, Coach Prime even saying that his last school did not make any mention of that. Okay? But it looks like, based on what Brian Howell told me today, he has 2 seasons worth of stats at San Diego Mesa. It's weird, by the way, that Fresno State would not list those schools on his bio. Same with New Mexico State. But it just looks like what's going on. Okay. And I think that that's the miscommunication that occurred. All those other schools had him at 1 year at JUCO. that's not the truth. He had 2 years of JUCO. Okay, so 6 years for Ezra. Okay, 6 years of school for Ezra. That's why he cannot come. Okay, that's what's going on there. Okay, it's that extra year of JUCO that's causing the issue. Let's see what else you guys got going on. What's up, everybody? Hey, Scummish in the chat. Yeah, receivers today. We already knew Ernest Campbell, guys, he runs track. Okay. It's not shocking that he ran multiple 4.33s today. Not a shocker at all. Okay. Ooh, try not to sneeze. Sorry. But that's where we're at with what's going on there. Yeah, I'm hoping that he has his eligibility straightened and Colorado might be interested. We'll see. We'll see if Colorado reaches out for him and adds him. We'd be the perfect spot for him to go to at this point because of what just happened. So there we go. Whew. Sorry, eyes are watering. Okay. Yeah. People just need to watch. Yeah, Prime spoke today, guys. Go watch. Chico and Neely interviewed Prime. They talked about everything today, guys. You need to go check it out and be about it. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Cam. Your Bob, because unfortunately the JUCO rule was just for last year. It was not a permanent rule change. It was not a permanent rule change. It was 2 years of JUCO still counts towards your eligibility as of right now is what everybody's talking about. It was not a permanent rule change. It was just something for last year that the courts struck down. I know. I've got a horrible head cold right now. I'm apologizing to you guys if I sound really bad today. That's what's going on. It's at that point in the stage of the cold where it is just pouring out of this orifice right here in my body, just everything out of it. So we won't be going too long. I would agree with that. JUCO should not count. JUCO, 2 years at JUCO should not count towards your eligibility no matter what. That needs to be a full-time rule change. But as of right now, that's not where it's at. Yeah, I told you guys. I told you guys in my prior shows, if you watched, what's going on right now is there's a lot of waiting on a lot of coaches that are being involved in all of the NFL coaching carousel that's happening right now. Once all of that settles and they're no longer wanted by these NFL teams, then you might see a coach or two get added to this roster for Colorado. Okay? So just throwing that out there yet. Patience with that. We'll see what happens. It's not a for sure thing. They have talked to at least 2 coaches that I know of that are waiting on that to decide if they want to coach at Colorado or not. Okay. It's the eligibility thing is just the most ridiculous thing ever. And Prime said that today. Like, you got guys playing their 7th year of college, and yet this kid can't get, that year. So that's what's happening. Okay. I hope so. I hope so. I don't say, I would say it's not just yet. It's not a priority to get them in right this second. Okay. They don't need to be in the building right this second. They are not a defensive coordinator. They're not an offensive coordinator. They're going to be a skill position that is a new position opening up coaching wise. So in the process of doing this, they don't have to rush. So they're waiting on these 2 guys to let them know if they want to be in those jobs or not. And there's still NFL stuff happening right now. Okay. So there's that. Yep. Tomorrow is the official first team meeting. They'll get going tomorrow. We will get to see that, but hey, they're already starting to work out. And I mean, again, I hate to say it. I hate to say it, guys. I really do. Because every year it's the same thing. Well off and reach the people, gets us hyped watching these workout videos, gets to watching these kids. But I will say the team definitely has a vibe similar to the 2024 team heading into that season, where you could definitely tell that people were vibing with each other much more. There was more of a closeness between each other, much more of a competition. Last year seemed off when it came to the players that came in. There wasn't really that leadership going on. There wasn't anything like that. The 15 plus captains from their prior teams that were just added in the portal are going to make a massive difference when it comes to this spring season. See, Coach Dre knows what's going on. We're not going to tell him too much about what's going on. Just know there's a chance there's still potentially some coaches they're waiting on. Okay? If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I can't, go anything else with that. Nothing in this world is a 100% absolute. That's the thing. When you give information out, yeah, I can be wrong with that information simply because the people that are giving that information, things can change. So there can happen that too. Yeah. See, I would hope that it looks like that. So at least on paper again, and look at what we're seeing. It looks night and day. Okay. There's some great energy. The kids are really competing. We've already seen video / photos of the position rooms, watching hard tape, writing up plays, doing some hardcore things, which if you want to believe, the people out there who said that we were, watching YouTube clips and doing weird things in the room, I would say with Brendan Marion, that's not going to happen. Okay. I would say with Brendan Marion, it's not going to happen, but there's that. Yeah. Tito's right. Strength and conditioning doesn't require the position coaches anyway. I appreciate the oversight this season. Definitely outside the norm. Yeah, it doesn't need to be there right away. Doesn't need to be there right away. Hey, Russ, are there any stars on our campus as of right now? What do you mean by that? Do you mean like on the roster right now, or do you mean like people visiting to be added to the team? I will tell you this. We're pretty much done adding players. For the most part, we are done. Like, the ad drop date for Colorado is in the books. They'd have to figure out some kind of loophole to get another person in at this very moment for the spring semester. Just FYI. Okay, people visiting. Yeah, not that I know of. There's not anybody. I mean, they're working out. They're ready to go. Like I told you guys early on in the show, Brian Howell, this morning when I talked to him, simply put out there that for now, Colorado's comfortable with where they're at. They might add something if something comes up. That was before Hosea Wheeler entered the portal. Who knows if with losing Ezra Christensen, the team might say, oh, there's somebody that we might be interested in adding. That might be what's going on. No, we have a couple scholarships left, but surprisingly, Colorado did a very good job of filling this roster out, guys. I reached the people who are well off. They even talked to Trader Lauren about where they are at roster-wise, guys, and they are over that 80-something mark that they have been in the past. Okay? Technically, the roster limit is 105 now. We're not to 105, but we are in the 80s with players right now. Okay? Yeah, Prime said they're not done adding yet. He said the school helping them get players in. Well, that's right now. So another thing that you guys got to relax on. I see this way too many times on Twitter. Okay? You guys got to chill out with the I don't see so-and-so on well off. What is happening? Okay? There are a lot of players right now at the beginning of the semester, okay, that have to go through some eligibility standards and some qualifications to be eligible. It's part of the reason that Ezra Christensen found out he was not eligible, because once the team did their digging and background and checks with the NCAA, they found out he was not eligible. That is happening right now with a lot of the transfer players. So you'll see some that, hey, they got entered. Their school was really smart. They were really good about keeping things organized. They were, keeping up on things. That stuff is still going on, okay? Because I'm waiting. I still haven't seen somebody say this, and I don't want them to. I'm waiting for somebody to be like, where's Boo Carter? I haven't seen Boo Carter on a well-off video or whatnot. It's like, chill. Let's not look into who's not in the videos just yet, okay? So there's that guy. Okay. Please do not look into that. Give at least a couple of weeks, okay, for players to show up. The where's Gormati stuff. Last year, every year we have it happen at some time. This year it was Ezra. People were like, where's Ezra? Where's Ezra? He was there in Boulder. He was going through the rigmarole to get eligible, and they found out that he was not eligible. Okay? They found out he was not eligible through that process. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. I know a lot of people want to see what Boo's time is. He'll probably, it probably won't even be on camera. See, look, here we go. Oh, everybody's favorite walk on. Everybody's favorite walk on. Just relax. Enjoy the content we get. Enjoy the behind the scenes we get. Okay. I enjoy it when we still get it. Let's not look too much into it. Okay. Let's not look too much into it. That's right. The offense is being led by Coach Marriott and Juju. This is their team. This is Juju's team now. The franchise has left the franchise, and Julian Lewis is the true franchise of the Colorado Buffaloes at this point. Okay? Might as well give him that nickname with what he'll be able to do. Okay? So there's that. Just saying. There we go. Let's see what else we guys got. People should already know by now Bucky Dare is very strategic of who they and what they post. Absolutely. Oh gosh, you guys are crazy. Absolutely. And as it should be. I mean, I want to ask a real question here, especially for people like your mom, okay? And other people who are maybe not completely Buffs fans. You tell me in this whole Jordan Seaton saga, is Jordan Seaton worth $5 million, you think, to a team? Is he truthfully worth $5 million? I've asked that questions in a couple places because that's what that's what it's starting to look like, is that it's looking like between Oregon and LSU, $5 million. Is he worth $5 million? I mean, I'm not trying to knock who Jordan Seaton is, but man, when the left tackle market is $2 to $2.5 million, and Colorado matches that and says, "Hey, we'll give you that contract," and his uncle shops him for more money, like I don't know a left tackle that is worth the amount that a quarterback is. And again, no harm to Jordan Seaton. He is great, but he is not perfect. He is not, as of this moment, a generational Hall of Fame tackle. Like, he has to earn that title. I was talking to some of my scout connections with the NFL. I will let you guys know this, that as of right now, scouts have Jordan graded way lower than I think a lot of fans do, including myself. He's still a first rounder, they said. He's absolutely a first rounder, but he has not moved up into the top 10 yet in their eyes, in several of them. So I don't know if $5 million is worth it. I truthfully don't know. See, projected top 5 pick, Lamar, that's not like 4 different NFL scouts that I have connections with that do things for draft. They're saying he's not a top 5 just yet. Could he be a top 5? Yes, but he has to work on some stuff. Rusty here, Prime say here helped a lot of players. Yeah, time to live. I don't know if you've been around long enough. I talked about this on several of my shows. I talked about some of the players that he helped. Yeah, Prime helped even players you don't think. One of those players that a lot of people don't realize that Prime helped find his landing spot was Omarion Miller. It wasn't so much of, Omarion Miller being like, I want more money, I'm leaving here. It was like the team did a mutual agreement of like, you know what? Your role is probably not going to fit this offense going forward. We think you'll be able to here, I'm going to help you find those locations. The ASU and Texas Tech connections came from Coach Prime. Just an FYI on that one. And that's what I've talked about before. So yeah, Coach Prime has been helping these kids. He doesn't care. Understand, $5 million means nothing to these programs with super deep pockets. That is why pro sports salaries have become so highly. Buddy, I would agree with that. It's still kind of crazy in the grand scheme of things. Like, the only teams that it is worth it to are these two teams. But what happens if they don't win a national championship next year with Seaton and all these players? It's just going to keep going. Some point, somebody's going to want to, return. I don't get if we don't have a power 4 rusher. I don't think you have to have a power 4 rusher in the go-go. Just FYI. It's going to kind of be like how, the NFL, unfortunately, running backs are a dime a dozen at this point. There's not very many bell cows. We're not going to have a bell cow. I think we're okay right now. I think we have enough there. He'll be a top 10 athlete. He very well could be. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm saying just right as of right now. So you're paying, $5 million for that. I do. If I'm being honest right now, here's the way I see it all playing out. Okay, guys. This is everything that I've pieced together of the Jordan Seaton saga, what's going on. And it all goes back to his uncle. Okay. Throughout the season, his uncle took phone calls about Jordan Seaton, about what his offers would be, about what the market value of a tackle was. He brought that back to Colorado because Colorado probably said, hey, let us know what you need to keep Jordan Seaton here. He said $2 to $2.5 million. Colorado said, okay, fine, we'll give him that. Okay, that's why it took so long for him to hit the portal. As far as the team was concerned, they had a deal in place and everything was going to be fine. Then, as the portal opened and closed, his uncle continued to get offers. Eventually, he heard from several teams in the $3 to $5 to $6 million range. Came back to Colorado. Again, by the way, in this moment, from what I heard from directly inside the room, Seaton wanted to stay. Seaton had no reason to leave. So Seaton came back to Colorado and said, hey, I've got offers now for $4 to $6 million. Colorado said, hey, we already agreed to $2.5 million. If that's going to be the case, go ahead and hit the portal. That's essentially what happened with this, guys, where it was blindsiding the team of saying, well, we thought we had a deal in place. We thought we were good. We moved on like we had a deal in place, and everything we've been doing and planning has been because of that. And now you're going to go back on that deal and change it up. You know what? No. Go enter the portal. Go do what you have to do. And then from there, once he was in the portal, out of the teams that were recruiting him, Seaton wanted to go to LSU. Right now, really, his uncle is the one that is keeping Oregon in this because his uncle wants Oregon. His uncle wants Oregon. That's why they're still in it. That's why Seaton hasn't already just committed to LSU. Because everything I heard was LSU was a lock. Everything I heard was LSU was a lock for Seaton. It was a done deal. And his uncle keeps pulling Oregon back into this. So I don't know what's going on in that kid's head. I don't know what's going on in that kid's camp, but he needs to figure his stuff out. Somebody sent me a photo or tweeted out a photo today on Twitter. I'll see if you guys get it. Hold on, let me find it real quick and I'll post it. Let's see how many people get it. Of literally, this is what's happening right now with the Jordan Seaton stuff. Let me find it, guys. Hold on. I loved it. It was like it's a good deep cut. Good deep cut. Oh, am I gonna find it? Oh, hold on. I'm going to find it, guys. It's a good one. Trust me. I can't find it. Still, you guys ever watched Ballers on HBO? The defensive lineman in that show that was like an all-pro defensive lineman, and he had a best friend that was always, putting things in his head of you're worth this, helping him make just stupid decision after stupid decision. The one part of the show I just wanted to, I couldn't believe that they just kept allowing it, but that's pretty much what's happening. Okay. Yeah. Seats going to Miami. We're being jerked by the propaganda machine. I mean, if Miami wants to pony up the money, but all I've heard the last week is LSU Oregon over and over again. LSU Oregon all over and over and over and over again. I want to know, what is this CU propaganda machine that we're somehow propagating that Seaton is going to LSU or Oregon? That's somehow a propaganda machine? That's hilarious. Oh, I mean, I have no idea what's going on. This is honestly the weirdest thing I've ever seen happen. And I still have people reaching out to me saying that Seaton's going to somehow come back and all this. And I just laugh. This is the craziest stuff. But there's that. Let's see. Where you heard it from, your inside source of propaganda media. What, all the Seaton stuff? I heard it directly from sources that are connected to the program. Yeah. Your mom, it's looking like, honestly, so Duke is a top law school. But if you go read the briefings on the contract and stuff, Duke kind of screwed up. They thought that this would be an easy open and shut case, so they didn't actually do the due diligence on the contract. I think that Mensa is going to be able to get out of the contract. I do. It's looking like Mensa is going to be able to get out of the contract that they had. And again, this is where I said that the fact that we do not have public regulated contracts for these players and universities, and we are working with these NILs who are creating these contracts from scratch, shows me that this is so bad. This is so bad. So there's that. You guys are hilarious. Okay, guys. Let's see. How long have we been on? We've been on a little bit over 30 minutes. Okay. Other stuff we want to talk about, obviously. Well-off videos, all of that stuff. I mean, the big one that I want to talk about is, holy crud. Eziogu. Defensive lineman running a 4-4. Like, what the heck? There is one thing that we will not lack, and that is speed. Speed on this team. Speed on this team. We will not lack that. But that's just crazy business to see some of the numbers that these kids are putting up, both in the weight room and the speed already. It's going to be very interesting to see what these guys are able to do long term with it. I mean, this is the most talented roster that Brennan Marion will have coached. That is a fact. That is just a fact. Okay? I mean, hey, your mom, if Hosea Wheeler ends up in Colorado, I think we can be completely fine with what happened with Ezra. Texas was originally with 3.5 to 4. Yep. Smothers, Relique, Arch, the donors didn't want to commit 4 more for Seaton. Yeah, well, and the number grew, Jay. That's why Texas dropped out too. Literally, I mean, at this point, LSU and Oregon, like, look at what they're doing to recruit him. I want to say this, though. Can we just talk about the fact that LSU and Oregon are absolutely embarrassing themselves as programs, and their fans are starting to say it. They are starting to say it. Seaton is making them look like you-know-whats, because they are on their knees begging Seaton to come and giving him whatever he wants. Like, you've got LSU literally having the governor of Louisiana go meet with Seaton. Like, I'm sorry, but it sets a bad precedence. It sets a bad precedence when it comes to recruiting. Because if I'm a recruit, I'm like, well, I want the Seaton treatment. If you think that I'm a great player, I'm going to want the Seaton treatment. And every player here on after that thinks they're on the level of Seaton-wise, you know, those 5-star high school recruits and those big-time. Here's the part that is a little weird, by the way, guys. I will tell you this. I heard from somebody directly at the school. Seaton has yet to unenroll in Colorado. I'll just leave it at that. I will just leave it at that. He has not dropped his classes for the spring. And I got that confirmed as of this morning. And I believe he has until tomorrow to drop his classes without it affecting his grades. I'll just throw that out there. You make of it what you want. Again, I'm not going to be in that conspiracy theory that thinks that Jordan Seaton's coming back to Colorado somehow. I just think whatever's going on, they do not have things put together over there. They do not have things put together. And my guess would be that no matter which team, he ends up with, unless it's Colorado, he's not playing spring ball. He's not playing spring ball. The problem, though, great one, is eligibility. He won't be eligible for the spring season to practice with whatever team he goes with unless he drops out of those classes. So there. Yeah. He'll be at other schools. Mind you, he's still enrolled in Colorado. So, again, if the conspiracy theorists out there who want to say that somehow Jordan Seaton's going to magically come back and he just, because I've literally seen the craziest conspiracies on Twitter, he could technically come back and be a part of the team in spring. I don't think that's the case. I don't think his uncle wants him to come back. I think his uncle doesn't want him to come back. You got to realize who's pulling the strings right now. You know? So there's that. Yeah. Your mom gets it there. You guys got it. Peace, Russ. Seat needs to return then. Don't take that money. It's a spectacle at this point. I mean, I will tell you this. I will tell you this. If somehow Seaton did, and again, I'm trying to say, this is not me creating that conspiracy or anything. I will say, because the word on the street too is like all these visits, he's getting like $100K, which is why he went and visited Ole Miss, why, Texas was in there. They all paid him to come on visits. If he does this world tour where he gets these guys to like grovel and bend the knee, and then all of a sudden it ends up that he ends up back in Colorado somehow, it would be the biggest FU to LSU, Lane Kiffin, Dan Lanning, all of these teams. It would just be hilarious. Like, I would not put it past his uncle saying it's $100K to come visit my son or my nephew. It's $100K. But hey, it's fun to think about. It's fun to talk about. We as Colorado fans can just say, for now, we're sitting back. We're sitting back and being a part of this, guys. That's absolutely crazy. You guys are funny. It is. It's hilarious, though. It really is watching this happen. Yeah, I know that LSU gave him $100K to come on that visit. They brought the governor out. Seaton met the governor. They had police escorts in Miami. Everything. Police escort cost as well. Police escorts are not cheap, by the way. I don't think this is even close to that, though, great one. I mean, this is even more epic than KC's world tour that he did last year. You're not wrong, Northside. You're not wrong. I'm telling you, their fans are starting to say that. I see so many LSU fans posting like, what are we doing? Like, this sets such a horrible precedence for how you're treating this one player. Like, a quarterback, sure. If Fernando Mendoza came back to college and hit the transfer portal, yeah, you do everything and you grovel and grove. But I guess Jordan Seaton's on that same level if they're doing this. Oh, that's so funny. You guys are enjoying this. I'm sure. Uh it's crazy. And hey, can we be honest? Why do you think Jordan Seaton has this kind of pull? We got to give it to the Coach Prime machine. Because Coach Prime made a left tackle a household name across the country before he hit that portal. You know, I don't think a left tackle. I mean, look, Caden Proctor went to Bama. You know, he was touted just as highly as Seaton was when he came out of high school. And yeah, he had his little, where he went to Iowa, came back to Alabama, all that stuff. It's just kind of crazy that I don't feel like that was as big a fanfare as the Seaton stuff is. I mean, Prime can say, hey, I made Jordan Seaton a household name. What other teams can say that? The other reason. It's crazy stuff, guys. It's crazy stuff talking about this to you guys. To take a Prime player like Seaton, Dan Lenny would love that. Honestly, I think half of the way they're throwing money around, and they were throwing money around to get Seaton in the portal, was to just get him off of Coach Prime's team. I do think that was part of it. Nope, it didn't. His play did. You're not understanding this at all. I just literally said Caden Proctor was a highly rated transfer portal when he went off to Iowa. My point is the media circus around this and the way that so many teams are just living and breathing off of every Jordan Seaton move on social media and all of these posts. That did not happen with Caden Proctor when he entered, and he was the same way. He had the on-field play. He was highly rated. Rankings don't have anything to do with this type of thing. Because Caden Proctor was rated the same when he hit the portal as when Jordan Seaton hit the portal. Oh. Dottie, that was the weirdest piece of media ever. And he did all that while being in the back seat with Bucky, laughing his ass off in the background. Okay? So there's that. The only name that would have absolutely floored me, Arch Manning. I mean, Arch Manning hits the portal. Yeah, he'd probably be the same. Probably would have been the same. Okay, guys, I'm dying here. I appreciate all of you guys. Hey, can you please, while you're in here, hit that like? Okay, please hit that like for me. It's greatly appreciated. Helps push the video out. Make sure that this video, more people watch it. I asked it last time. Hey, if you're watching this video later on, comment below. Let me know what you think Colorado's grade is after the portal, after losing Ezra Christensen. How are you feeling? Where are you at when it comes to this team? I would love to know. I got that on a short where I had a lot of great responses to that as well. Love hearing your guys' personal opinions as we head into spring and the off season here. And off-season football. And hey, it's still going to be exciting. Let's see what happens. Let's see if the Buffs get in on Hosea Wheeler. Okay, there are some connections there where there are some, dots being tied when it comes to that. It'll be very interesting to see what happens with if Colorado adds anyone or if they stay put for now. So, appreciate you guys so much. I'll be back soon. Hopefully over the weekend. We'll see how I'm feeling. And then I got some fun personal news next week. I'll share with you guys here in about 2 weeks' time. But yeah, appreciate you guys. Thank you for letting me tell me to get better. I hope that this goes away soon. I feel like I'm on the back end. Already done antibiotics, Dayquil, NyQuil regimen. Hoping that by this weekend, this stuff goes away. I feel like I'm at the tail end. This is like the tail end usually for me. So appreciate you guys so much for joining me. Until next time, for Buffs News Weekly, I'm Russ. Sco Buffs.